What is going on, everybody? It is, oh, that was a May 20 something. I don't even know the date. But it's late May here in southern Wisconsin. I got my corn planter down here. We're going to actually plant some corn today, Roundup Ready corn. I'm also going to spray plot start. Got the sprayer with me. We'll show you guys that too. But basically I'm going to put my corn in the ground first, and I'm going to spray plot start over the top of that. Our soil sample for this particular plot this year sold about 1,000 pounds of lime per acre, so we're going to use plot start and spray it liquid form. So I got the plot start in the truck, and we'll use 30 gallons of water and then 5 gallons of plot start for this particular plot. That being said, this is the planter that you guys see my wife got me for Father's Day last year. Works really well, so we're going to use it again. Got the corn seed. We're going to head up and get level 2 planted. It's the only place I'm putting corn. We're basically running big, long east-west stripped. And then we're also going to actually have brassicas below that. We've put our clover in already for a couple of the kill plots in that area. So that'll be fun to see how that works out and move some tree stands. I'm also going to show you guys a ground blind that my wife and I put in yesterday. Built the whole platform, put the ground blind, mounted the ground blind and everything up on there too. So we'll show you guys that location also. And then we plan on digging another 110-gallon water hole today. Cathy and I will do that. That's actually right up this coulee, or this ravine right here. Basically, it helps level 3 transition east to west. We also think that this will be a really good rut spot in this valley. We've had few pictures of a lot of our bigger deer crisscrossing through there during the rut. So that's what this is all about. You guys actually seen Mike and I earlier this year cut a bunch of birch completely off in that area. And just up above that is where we did a bunch of hin cuts and a couple complete cuts on some box elders, aspen trees, which we completely cut to help get more undergrowth. The does are already using that bedding area, so we're holding our does down lower, moved our food down a little bit lower so we didn't lose our depth of cover like we did last year. That was my fault, my mistake. So we're changing all that this year by adding all the switchgrass we did. If you guys watched the earlier shows, if you haven't checked those out, right here at Small Property Layouts, we appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get started. All right, guys, we are up at the plot here. You can see the way I laid this out. So we've got yellow flags. You can kind of see one behind the planter here. You can see the pink flags down below. So everything below the pink flag is switchgrass for this year. So we had switch from last year that's there. You can see some of the milk pods or milkweed that's growing up and stuff like that. We're going to keep that mowed this year, so come July, I'll come through and I'll mow that whole bottom half. The switch that I laid down recently, I actually used Whitetail Habitat's Whitetail Habitat Solutions, Jeff Sturgis's mix for his northern blend, and it's got about 80% soft seed in it, so it was there for immediate germination. We did get some rain last week that actually helped that switch start to grow down in there, so that's perfect. What we're hoping for is some decent first year switch, but also the second year switch that's already established to continue to come up. When we mow that in mid-July or so, basically the switchgrass has a higher rate of growth than all the other plants that'll be in this area, so hopefully it'll end up choking out and shading out all the other grasses or broadleafs that are in that. It worked out pretty well last year. We had growth spots were certain spots were 4 feet, but most of it was 3 feet. This year we expect that second year switch to be 5 to 7 feet, and then our first year switch to be that 3 to 4 feet. That being said, I had also come through here and used a product, basically humic acid, to help the soil here. Like I said earlier, I'm going to actually plant all my corn first, and then I'm going to go over the top of it with plot start, because this soil here needed more lime in it. So that's basically why we're doing it. We're basically adding, with the liquid version, a little over 1,000 pounds per acre in this plot, and that's going to help the corn growth. And then also our brassicas, which are going to be between the yellow flags and the pink flags. All this is east-west on this particular property, and this is one of our main food plots right here. To my west, I have a really nice clover plot that's about 100 yards away, 120 yards away. That's where we put that new ground blind, which I'll show you guys later. More for my dad for hunting. There's also a ladder stand on that particular plot. But we've gotten good pictures of some decent bucks in there throughout the years, and basically this is to be able to take my parents crossbow hunting. It's fairly close to where we park. With the wind directions that we normally get here, this is going to do nothing but help and promote that downdrafting in the thermals in the evenings. My parents don't hunt mornings, and we'll have good evening hunts, and it's easy in, easy out for them. So Mom's plot, and we'll call that one Dad's plot. It used to be a big clover plot. So we'll see how that all works out. I'm going to throw some corn in here. We're going to get the planter going, and take about an hour to get this done. So we got the corn planted, like I said, level 2. That's where we're holding all our food this year. Got the little plot put over here by the sniper stand. Got it all the corn planted right here in front of the iron throwing. We're probably gonna put the stand down here in this pine, which would be to the north on the downhill side, for evening hunts when we put our brassicas in here. I'm pretty sure we're going to get deer transitioning east-west off of here. We have a lot of that movement, so I filmed a couple of my bigger bucks using this bottom edge. So we'll see how that all works out. I'll show you guys the ground blind we put in for my dad here quick. And then Cathy and I have to dig in a pond. And we will be done for today, so let's move on, show you the blind next. Nice. Anyway, you can hear the wheelers warm behind me. Got the fan running. This is the ground blind that my wife and I put in, basically for my dad. It'll be a great rain spot also if we do decide to hunt during a rainstorm or something during the rut. But that being said, we kind of tucked it up in that corner, got it up off of the main deer transitions. The deer like to transition off the hillside straight down into this clover plot that we have in here. There's 4 different types of clover in here that I mix. It's going to be a fairly long shot if he wants to hit this mock scrape that you guys see in here. It's about 44 yards to the mock scrape. There's a water hole also down off the edge, so before I knew what I was doing, I put the water hole on food, which really isn't the greatest idea, just so you're aware. Usually don't need to have water right on the edge of food. Deer aren't like humans, so they get a lot of their moisture and their water based off of what they're eating, all the green out of it. Almost 80% of the water that they actually use in their bodies off of what they eat. But they will go down and drink, especially during the rut. You'll get bucks transitioning through. There's a lot of rub sign along this, annual rub sign, where the deer have used these rubs year after year after year. So another reason that that particular blind is set there, because it's a good spot during the pre-rut, I believe. If Dad's still got a tag and he wants to come hunting, we'll see how that works out. So, but really happy with how it turned out. Got an easy staircase on the back side. Be easy for him to get in and out. Easy for me as I get older to get in and out. So yeah, it's a pretty good setup. Stick around. Alright, so we got our plot start all added. Let's head up and see what we can do. See if we can get this stuff on the ground. Alright guys, we're up at the plot now. Level 2 on the property. It's a great big long plot, a couple 100 yards long. It's probably about 50 to 60 yards wide. We're a couple tree stands positioned along it. I put my corn in the dirt earlier today, so now we're going to actually spray the plot start on here. It says we can do it same day, so that's what we're going to do. Anything on the other side of these flags, the pink flags, is switchgrass. Anything up above this is going to be currently open until we put our buckwheat in for our no-till program. And then anything yellow and above is corn this year. So we separated the plots. From the top of the hill down, it goes corn, then it'll be brassicas, and then it's going to be switchgrass on the bottom side for the future. So stick around for all of that. Like I said earlier, we're going to have second year switch, first year switch in there. I may overlap with the boom a little bit. On here is, I believe the switch is not quite coming up yet, so that'll help that soil. We'll see if we get any better growth. So we're going to pull the booms out, hook the sprayer onto the electrical, and get things started. Alright, well, we're going to take her down. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, yeah buddy. Another must be nice project completed. Anyway, got that all sprayed, basically put 40 gallons down on these 2.5 acres. It's probably more like 1,500 pounds of lime per acre. So that being said, hopefully things will work out. Now we're going to be waiting for some rain, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully Plotstart works well. We'll see. Everybody that I know who's used it, Jeff Sturgis and everybody that I've seen use it, they've had great results with it, so we're excited to see what happens here, especially for our brassicas this fall. So stick around for that. I'm going to go help Cathy dig the water hole in. We're going to go drop the sprayer off and then we'll head up there. My wife is standing next to the camera because she doesn't want to be on film. But you can see she's already got this pretty much done. Probably another couple inches and then we'll be able to put it back in. Then we'll backfill around the back side of it. And then we're going to put, what's the name of that stuff we're putting in here?
Lamium.
Lamium.
It's a ground cover.
Yeah, it's a big heavy ground cover. We have a bunch of it at the house and it spreads real well. And it likes shade. It'll bloom in sunlight, but it'll also grow really well in the shade, so it just won't bloom and make flowers. So that was Cathy's suggestion about putting it on each water hole. We're going to try it, see if the deer eat it. Hopefully they don't. But she's almost got it done. She did all the hard work. I'm just here making it look good like I've done something. So you guys can see Cathy dug it in perfect. We got a nice swale that runs right down into the water hole, so all the water when it rains will run right down into the I guess bathtub. But we found these to be real effective, especially during the pre-rut and rut when them bucks are chasing does and need to have a little extra water. Plus back at that time of the year there's not a lot of moisture in their food, so they're going to be looking for water. They will use the creek down below, But this being more secluded, we'll get more activity. They do go down into the creek. I always thought that they wouldn't get into the creek because of the running water. They didn't like the running water. Well, I was definitely incorrect on that one. So I'm pretty sure this will be a little bit better. They like the seclusion, plus it's between two bedding areas and one of their main feeding areas. So they'll be hitting this pretty heavy. Right behind the camera, about 4 yards, is a mock scrape. Tree stand's going to go on one of these oak trees of the 6 or 7 down here, the bigger oaks. And that'll break us up really nice. We got a stand right here in a maple. We're actually going to move down there. So I like the spot. We'll see what happens. Stick around. Well, been a successful day. Late May here in southern Wisconsin. We got our corn planted today. We got another water hole in, which is the last water hole we plan on putting in currently. We got all our plot start on our fields, ready for our brassicas and hopefully helping our corn that we planted today, and probably helping some of the switch that we oversprayed. And I stayed away from the clover because they say that it probably burn it, especially with us not having any rain coming here for the next few days. So I left the clover plots alone. We'll use plot boost on that as it matures a little bit more. So I'm really happy about that. Cathy helped me out quite a bit today. She mulched all these smaller pines that we had put in. We put in another 100 smaller pines earlier in the year, white spruce. So that'll help them. It's been a real productive day, like I said. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching Small Property Layouts. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to subscribe to the channel, get a chance to subscribe to the channel, hit the Reaper in the lower right hand corner. We sure would appreciate it. We'll see you guys.